Hello and welcome to pmclounge.com. In this video, we are talking about collective bargaining agreement. This is a part of procurement management knowledge area. This is something that you may see in your PMP exam, you may not see as well, but there's not a great deal that you should know about this concept in order to clear your PMP exam. As always, if you're into reading articles rather than watching videos, then first link in the description is going to take you to a relevant article on this topic over at our official website pmclounge.com. So do check that out. Also, second link in the description will contain every single video. It is a playlist of every single video that we have done on procurement management knowledge area. So two important links, check them out anytime during the course of this video. For now, let's get started and discuss collective bargaining agreement. So two things that you need to know here are union and union agreement. Collective bargaining agreement is also known as union agreement. So union is basically a group of employees within an organization, and it can be represented by an independent trade union. So what it means is there is a group of employees which is part of the organization, and it is represented by a trade union, an independent trade union. Now, the union agreement, also known as collective bargaining agreement, is basically a contract between this group and this organization. So although this group is part of the organization itself, but there is a contract between the two, and this contract between the two, the group and the organization, is known as union agreement or collective bargaining agreement. This is a written document, it is legally enforceable, and this is specified for a specific time period. Could usually be an year or it could also be 11 months. And again, like I said, this is between the organization and the union. Also, what is the content of this contract? So the content of this contract is basically conditions of employment like wages, working hours, terms and conditions, and procedures for conflict resolution. So should a conflict arise between this group, between the union and the organization, what would be the procedure to resolve that resolve that conflict? All that is included in the union agreement. Now, for you as a project manager in your project, why should you be worried about all this? The reason is, if you as a buyer, you are the project manager and you are a buyer here, and you sign a contract with a seller who in turn has an existing collective bargaining agreement with a union. The union becomes a stakeholder in your project. Very important. I will also share a diagram of sorts in the next slide if it is not clear here. But the basic idea here is, you as a project manager, if you are contracting some of the work of your project out to a seller, and the seller in turn has an internal collective bargaining agreement or a union agreement with a union, then you as a buyer are not immune to the union. The union becomes a stakeholder in your project. That's the whole idea here. Now, union can have an impact on the project too, and it is important that while you are planning for your project, there are rules and regulations of the union which are part of the collective bargaining agreement. So those rules and regulations can also be added as project constraints for your project, because union is now a stakeholder for your project. So quickly, let's try to understand the relationship here. This is you. You are the buyer, you are the project manager. Now, next comes the seller. This is the company or the organization that you are planning to contract some work of your project out to. And then there is a union, which is part of the seller itself. So they have a union agreement in place. The seller has a union agreement in the place, and this is the relationship that they have. Now, let's say your project requires manufacturing of some goods, right? And you need to involve a seller who needs to have very large manpower and heavy equipment. So you contracted that work out to this seller and they have a union. So this is how you might end up in this situation. So the seller and the union, they already have a union agreement. This is their relationship. And you basically, to manufacture the goods, you have signed a contract with the seller. So this is the relationship that you have established with the seller. What you need to note is you as a buyer now have a relationship with the union as well because of this contract, because of this relationship. So the union becomes a part of your project. They become a stakeholder in your project. So after all this, after understanding this relationship, what possible issues that you as a project manager could have with the involvement of a union? What do you think could go wrong because of this relationship that we have just established in the previous slide? Let me know in the comments. Definitely looking forward to your answers. Also, a quick reminder here, if you're looking for introduction to project management, you can head over to pmclounge.com/pm101. This is 1.5 hour free session, your gateway to the world of project management. So that's all that we had in this video. Hope you got value out of it. Hope you understood what collective bargaining agreement really is. This is all that you need to know about this topic as far as PMP exam is concerned. Smash that like button if you got value out of this video. Subscribe to the channel and hit the bell icon to stay notified whenever we upload new content. And don't forget to check out the website pmclounge.com, your #1 free PMP resource. Thank you and have a nice day.